time round we are going to be looking at a new thing, and this time round we are looking at the grid references or grid systems. So when you look at a grid reference, is a simplified grid used for maps or for a map area to make a report and also look up on coordinates or coordinates easier. They are saying that in a coordinate system or coordinate system, systems are each grid line or on x-axis and also on y-axis. They are labeled squarely with 2 digits. So when you look at the grid square, that small box or what you can term as a pixel, it has 2 digits written onto those grid squares. And they are saying a very good grid reference, it should be totaling up to 6 digits. When you have 6 figures or 6-figure grid reference, it here shows that you have the right digits. They are saying this which gives us an even more precise location inside the grid boxes or inside the 4 boxes. They are saying that the first 2 numbers are the eastings, and therefore the other are the what we call the northing. In other words, we tend to follow a formula known as EN when you are writing those grid references. The first thing is to write is the easting, then the northing up there. When you go on, we have other things concerning grid references that you may be using to study about the grid reference. So when they ask you where is the grid reference on a map, so when they ask where are the grid reference on the map, these are grid lines that help you to pinpoint each contour a location where anywhere on a map. They are saying the vertical lines are called eastings, whereas the horizontal lines are called the northings. So those are what we call the grid reference or grid lines. So they can also ask you, where do you find the 6 grid references? Where first the grid reference is that the number of horizontal grid lines on the bottom or in the south sides of the grid square, those are what we call the northings, whereas the other are known as the eastings. So those are what we call the 6-digit grid coordinates. How they are obtained? How do you obtain them? You first write the easting, then you also write the northings. That's how we write those grid frames. Then there we are looking at a new thing termed as measurements on the map. When you look at the maps, when we are measuring distances on maps, there are things that we follow. They are saying on your computer, open Google Map. When you open the Google Map, right click on your starting point. In other words, look at that road. If you are going to be measuring the distance of a road from one point to another, identify the starting point. After identifying the starting point, then right click on that or on that starting point, then choose measure the distance. Then you look at where it ends. Then they are saying right click, you right click anywhere on the map to create the path. How do you create the path? Is when you are determining the distance, or when you move from one point to the other. Then they are saying options you drag the point, which point, the starting point or the path, to move it to the point that you want to move it to. Then they are saying that at the bottom you will see that the totals will be displaying themselves in either kilometers or meters, depending on the scale the map that it has. That one uses what we call a system or developed system. that can use to be measuring the distance. Most especially, we use what we call the GIS, or the Geographical Information System, or the Geographical Information System known as the GIS. There is a software that is designed, that software is designed, but it has all the information concerning the spatial data that is recorded and stored into that information. Then the other thing of measurement we talked about, the points concerning the roads. I talked about the measurements. Then the other thing where we shall be picking up, it will be photographs, the importance of photographs, the different types of photographs, where we shall be talking about the aerial landscape photograph, then talk about the wildlife, aerial sports action photographs that we shall be looking at next time. For now, I beg to stop here, where we shall be picking up next time from.